Okay. You need to get that book.
Okay.
And that will explain.
Okay.
I think it's 16 or 17 of those programs that
Okay.
we had.
So when you said you know what Helen did, what did Helen do then? Because I wasn't here when she was
You know
in
what?
college.
Helen was a special person. Let me tell you.
Sure.
She ran North because she was a teacher.
Yeah.
That's the Bible.
Yes. Helen was strict and you had to go by her rules. She brought down Cole in. When
I
he took
came
the
in
book.
with Helen, and that's how she was. Just like when we had rehearsal,
That's right.
women had to wear dresses
That's right.
or skirts. Like
That's
you couldn't come there. I remember one time I came in pants, but I came because I had to go to school and take a test that night. I had to take a final. So when I came in with the pants, she looked at me, and I said, Helen, her and Patrick Bradley, they looked at me and I was like, Helen, I said, I gotta go to school, I gotta take a final and I can't come. And she was like, okay. But I remember when they got her to finally start letting women wear pants in rehearsal.
That's right.
She was not, and this was really, by time then, it was right before Arnold died. It was really like right
Yeah,
around
see,
that time.
James, that was the rule. James never allowed people to come to rehearsal in pants. But times had changed.
And we couldn't, we had to, when we got to a church, we had to sit still. We didn't put our robes on right away until she said so.
I'm telling you,
She said
Helen
that's
was
when
a
you-
special person.
Yeah.
And see, you had people.
Now I got to go, but let me just tell you this. This is one of the persons, James, that promoted me. No, every funeral that we went, Norma Jean would promote me. He did the work. He did. She really did.
That was my job.
And she
People didn't understand when they made me public relations.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would sit in the restaurant. I would be in that restaurant all day. I would be talking to different chapter reps. I would be talking to different people like I'm talking to you. And then I would go to him and Ed and say, you got a problem over here.
Yeah, gotcha.
You got a problem over here. You got this going on here. And he would say, I don't want her on the board. I want her where she can deal with the people, which was a great move. You have to find out who the individual is.
That's
When
what
you
I'm talking
find out who the individual is, then you place them where they need to be placed.
That's
If
right.
you got people that are not listening, that's in the head of your organization, they're not gonna have information to take back to the people to get them to come in. He had this gift. She has. I'm on the air every day, and if something comes, now she listens to me every day. She's on the job, and she listens to me, and she'll text me something. If I play a song and she'll say, "Well, she ain't singing that one too well," I say, "Okay, I'll get another one." She texts me every day. You have to. What's the magic word? Connect. Connect is the magic word. Public relations is connecting. That people know I can't sing. I'm not a singer. But I'm smart enough. God has used me to be among the singers. I can play. Nobody even knows I can play. But one time they was having a funeral in the church, in New Life Baptist Church. And Reverend Charlie was the pastor saying, and Mr. Stinson said, I'm waiting on Harold Smith, he's late. He said, Norma Jean can play. Norma Jean can't play nothing. I said, honey, I just hold up. I went and got my Baptist hymnal out the trunk of my car. I said, I don't play the organ, I play the piano. I can keep it going. That's what I want to leave with you. Keep it going. You're going to get information, but it's no good if you don't keep it going.
And then you gave Reverend Cleveland used to say that I was mean.
You were.
Because no, I am not. Sandy, have you?
I don't think you're mean. I'll use another word. You're direct.
Oh, okay.
And guess what? And I'll include myself. We have not learned how to take directions.
That's right.
We've not learned how to take
Oh, yes, you
direction.
can.
In
Oh, yes,
direction.
Oh, listen, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Helen Stevens did. In her,
I said we have not learned. I didn't talk about you. I was talking about me. I said we have not learned. We've not learned. Listen.
No, people are trying to
we're
be too
not-
politically correct
we-
these days.
Last night, Bishop got up and said, if you all are going to leave and go to your rooms. Don't go outside these doors and stand in the hall. You done disrupted people walking out while they're singing, and then you're out standing in the hall. When I left, guess what happened? They're outside standing in the hallways because we do not do what we're supposed to do. Hello, somebody. And that's why we're in this great big world of trouble. Biggest election it's ever been. And our people don't know. Like I said, I had never listened to a Democratic or Republican convention. But when I go in the room, I know if she have on something, it's gonna be learnable. So I try to. She said, "Do you mind looking at it?" No, I don't. I be wanting to look at Wheel of Fortune. I said, "Oh."
Reverend Mother, I remember the time when that was instructive. They had individual people to come out and say, no, you can't stand out here. You have to go to wherever you're going. And that's what they stopped doing that. I remember that. You know, remember James?
Well, James used to do that.
Yeah.
James would come out and do
James
it.
would get up there and fuss at night. When you try to beat up the maids, you ain't had your bed changed every day when you at home.
Right. And remember when we went to Cleveland and they had
but
roaches?
we know he sent them people back. But I'm just saying, he had to get up and say what he had to say.
Right.
Now, when the Brooklyn come out in Bishop, sometime when Albert got mad at one of them convention and called out them two boys, he said, I'll give you your money back.
The big boy.
Whatever I know what he's talking about.
What they saying they
I don't think
twins?
it wasn't them.
No,
Oh, it wasn't them,
them.
okay.
Don't go too far. Don't go too far.
No, wasn't them.
Don't go too far.
He got
But
up.
this was not that long ago.
Hello.
Yeah, this was
Don't go too far.
He got up and said, listen, the Brooklyn came out in here. Listen, you two, you register, I'll pay your registration back. But I ain't gonna have you in here doing what you think you can do. Now, I'm satisfied. I don't know who you was talking to, but when Albert when Brooklyn comes out in him, that's what he'll say. I mean, when he first started church and running that out there, he said, Pastor, some drunk out there cussing on the sidewalk, he would go out there and fight him and push him off. I said, you crazy, you can't fight them people? Get your deacons or somebody to do that. So, but Albert had to learn. James Cleveland, I couldn't play no piano. He said, I chose you because of your leadership.
That's it.
He said, leadership.
Yeah, I got to go. Have I helped you?
Everybody was on that board from the.
Yes. And
We
come
gotta
back
get
every
that-
year.
Hold on, before we go further, did anyone have any more questions for him?
Well, I
before
want to
he-
know how to get, cause I want to get that special academics program book. So just going to the website.
Yeah, on the academics page, academic pages.
Okay.
At the bottom,
Okay.
it'll give you that. And then my cards are, our office is right next door. Just come over there and I'll
Okay.
get you a card.
Okay, great.
I normally have, some in my wallet, but I got so much money that
Well, I need to see you.
What's up now?
I need to see you right now.
Yeah,
Let me
like,
write
okay.
it.
All right, Sandy, what did I tell you, well, Tuesday night now, I'm a sharp dresser. And I outdid him. Now, I had a off-white suit, you saw me, eggshell with polka dot green tie, and the ascot, green ascot. I think everybody took note on that. Now, I told people, I said, now, you see this, don't you? Money, green is the color of money. And I got plenty of it. Because I live next door to Donald Trump in Palm Beach. Now, we don't live in no Palm Beach now. West Palm Beach is where we are. The intercoastal ocean separates the billionaires from us poor people out there. Now, if they ever have a riot, they got those toll bridges, and all they do is open it, and everybody will go down. Everybody go down in the water. Yeah. People say that you're so silly. Yes, I am. Now I'll say something and I'll laugh myself. So if I say something, please don't take it for serious. Don't take it for serious because you'll miss going to heaven. If you take it. Yeah, I'm very comical and silly. I've enjoyed it. I got to go.
She asked me, she said, do you think we ever go back to Salt Lake City?
Oh, that was one of the best ones, right?
Yeah, she asked me. So I told her, I said, I don't think so. I said, maybe never. But she said, she never said never. But they didn't have the hotel space to have it. And to tell the truth, James never wanted to go, but Ed signed the paper.
That's right. And they treated us better than we ever been. The
My
more.
question to him was, currently, like in this present day and age, you still want those collaborations if you could get
Yes,
them.
we do. Yeah.
You still encourage those, and you still try to seek
Yes,
those
we do.
out.
Yeah. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
And don't think that your opinions and skills and all of that is not needed. Yes, they are. On our applications and things, we say we need all people, regardless of your backgrounds and all that. We need everybody. That's why it says where everybody is somebody.
You gotta encourage these kids. You gotta encourage these kids to go to school.
That's right. That's
And I
right.
keep driving that because one of the greatest mistakes I made, even though Reverend, this convention has taken me around this country, the one thing that I missed is that I didn't complete my education.
Yeah, but you don't need.
And then this, because see, what they're doing now on jobs and what's happening with these insurance companies and having to go to the hospital and you can have insurance and then they tell you, well, your insurance don't cover this test. Hello. Your insurance don't cover this medicine. Your insurance don't cover this. And when you're not in a bona fide place and we're here, there, but to our young people, when they start moving in their age and stuff, the benefits and stuff are not going to be there.
That's right.
Bridge cars and stuff ain't going to be there. And these guys better get an education and stop running around with short dresses on and breasts hanging out and stuff, thinking they gonna get something, because they don't get nothing but a casket. It is. I made the error. Let me tell you something. Hold up a minute. Let me tell you
a lot
something.
of young folks get, and this is
I'm
not just in the-
78,
yeah.
and I've been summer everywhere, but I regret that I didn't get my education because I'm locked in to a certain amount of money. I'm locked into that, and I will get more, and when the Lord blesses me to do speaking engagements, but I've been on a job 18 years on the radio, and I walked in there 18 years ago for a salary, and I have that same salary today, 18 years. You see people that say they're on the radio or they got a radio program or there's something, honey, they ain't making no money. Unless they're on an FM, they're not making no money.
But see, the problem with her on the air, she was on dry time where everybody could hear her when you was in the Detroit area, and she was playing the music everybody wanted to hear. she has so many commercials. People advertising, cleaners, car wash.
One time I had 33 clients. I was on from 3 in the afternoon to 8 at night. I was on 5 hours. Now I have 6 clients. It happens. It happens in life.
Because it's money.
It's money.
It's money.
It's
It's
money.
money.
Yeah.
I know that Gospel Music Workshop, it's Gospel Music Workshop of America, but you do have chapters that are, like for instance, in Japan.
They sing listen.
International.
And it's international. How far is that going? Do you have chapters in Canada and
Yes, we do.
London and UK?
Yes, we do.
Gotcha.
All of
And
them.
in the Bahamas too.
Yeah.
Jamaica.
We have UK,
Bahamas
Poland.
sound like the Bahamas sound
listen. UK, Poland, Sweden, Africa, the Bahamas,
Japan.
Japan. Now I was in Japan about what was that? About 10 years ago.
You was there.
Yeah, and that was to to see their advancements, and at that time they were light years ahead of us.
And I remember seeing, we met some people from Denmark. They were here.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I mean,
I forgot,
it's
yeah.
far reaching. And
Yeah.
even when I went over to Ireland, they were talking about the gospel.
That's right. I
So
remember
it's-
that. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's far
Especially
reaching.
with
Yeah.
Worldwide.
YouTube and everything else. The internet, people are they're all over, and to watch them get up and sing.
Oh God.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah.
I
See,
go-
we were looking at. They had a school. This is one of the connections that we had. They had a school and I was in Osaka, Japan.
They have a school
It's
for
called
Jesus
Soul
Gospel
Bird
Show.
Music School, and I sent about 7 to 9 of our instructors over there to teach. That's part of that special academic program book, and they became so good at it, they could outdo us. And I was amazed at their advancement in electronic instruments. I predicted to this convention in '90 that there would not be almost a need for the acoustical piano. And how many churches that don't have the acoustical? They got the electric. Yeah, and Japan was doing that way before. Now the only thing that I could not get accustomed to over there is their food.
I got a question.
Because they steam, they fish, and we was looking for the cool and the fry.
How does the workshop feel about the way gospel music is going, like the youth with the rapping and all of that? You know,
Have to do it.
I mean, you gotta address it because they're the one gonna carry it on.
That's right.
You know,
We doing
We
it.
do
We doing
address
it.
it, and Bishop was in here today to say that they have a session for the rappers to go to. They have the youth department. They have now a contemporary
adult.
adults. We welcome everybody, but we saw, as I said a little bit ago, that we saw last night that there was Dorothy Norwood, who's 81 years old, who started singing and her hit song didn't move. She went back to the hymns of the church. But then they brought in the youth. They brought in the youth, about 300 of them up on the stand, and they sang an a cappella and then went into a hymn of the church and then went into what they like to do. So it's all inclusive.
That's right.
in here.
And
Yeah.
then
One-
I think a lot of it, some too, sometimes, the announcers or whatever will kind of lead the public into thinking, you have different segments of gospel music. Some is church gospel, some is for skating and the picnic, some is for, easy listening or whatever. But we're here to learn the difference. Cause you don't wanna get a rap on Sunday morning. That's not That's not
Church.
So we need to know the
I
difference.
think it's a time, like when they use it here, it's probably better than Sunday morning. But you gotta look at where a lot of young people that are 35 and under, what their situations and where they come from. Because I work in social services. So I work with adults who were foster care kids. They were constantly in and out the system. So a lot of times when they rap, that's their only outlet. Like the first time I heard a gospel rap group was the Gospel Gangsters. And they were gang members from LA, and they were from 3 different gangs, and they were in a prison cell together.
I can do it.
What they did was, one of them had a beat, the other one had a rap, and that was how they got going.
I see that going that way, and I tell people when I'm emceeing programs, because I'm not doing as many as I used to do, is that I don't have nothing against rap.
Yeah.
And they tried to tell me that I didn't. No, I don't. I want to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can get a message over if people don't understand what you're saying. I went to Bobby Jones' convention of what he has, and they said, well, Dietrich Haddon, who used to live in Detroit, was saying, well, Reverend Mother says so, we know she's going to jump all over us. And he was talking about that tradition is on the back burner. I can't say, I'm 78 years old. There's no way in the world I can say I'm on the front burner. But I said to him, tradition is tradition. And I say it's old, but guess what? So is the cross.
Yeah.
For many, many years in my life, every preacher that preached on Sunday morning went back to he died.
That's right.
And he got it.
And we have to remember that you catch people where they are, but just like you catch a fish, but you clean the fish after you get it. You catch him first. You can't clean him till you catch him, but once you catch him, you clean them and you teach them a way. But you don't leave people just like they are. You know, that's doing them a disservice. So once you get them, and you may pull them in with this music, once you pull them in, then you teach them, baby, this is how, do this, you know, this is how. Now you can keep this, but
That's our goal is to pull them in. And like
you
said,
catch
once
them
we-
and you clean
You know,
them.
you come
But
as
you don't
are,
get a
but once
fish.
you get there,
Yes.
and I'm
that's-
receiving the word, then we change.
We had a
it.
game show the other day, and one of them was, one of the questions was, the series was, is this in the Bible or did somebody make it up? And one question was, just come as you are. He didn't say stay as you are.
Yeah.
You know, he said, come unto me. It was never come as you are, it's come unto me.
As you.
You know, so we need to, you know, get that together. You know,
But like I said, I heard some of them little rappers, but what bothers me now, and I'm telling her, we're sitting together, we had a special service for solos. You know, because now they're coming with the tracks, but they're still solos. But they
They
used to.
solos, but they sing 4 songs.
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah. See, so me and no one was talking. I said, you remember they used to sing in the afternoon? They used to have to sing in the afternoon. But see, a lot of times, sponsorship pays for them. And that's the bottom line. Sponsorship, Al used to bring all them people in because he was getting money.
Right, and you get caught up into
Sponsorship.
the money
There you go.
of it.
And that's what you get.
miss
Message.
the
There
message
you go.
of it. And it's like whoever has the money that's promoting it,
That's right.
then that's where you go. And it's like, that's not all. Sometimes you have to say no.
That's right. You have to say no sometimes.
Out of order. That's all.
Yeah, this woman sang last night and she started singing. I don't know what she was singing then, but it was a language I couldn't
Yeah,
understand.
she started singing in English, then she went somewhere else. I said, no, you understand that?
I don't know what
now?"
she sang.
Right, and see, and then, just like she said, it's gospel is telling the good news in song. If I don't know what you're saying, how you telling the good news? I don't know what you're saying. A lot of people hear Kanye West song, Jesus Walks, and they think that that's a church song. Ain't got nothing to do with that. He asking God to protect me while I go make this drug deal. and folks don't even,
No.
people my age, you know, they you know, they don't have a clue. But
They
that's
ain't
what he's
listening.
acting, that's what the song is about.
not
And
listening.
so we're telling our kids just because it says Jesus walked, that, oh, it's okay, oh, yeah, it's okay.
People have been trying to rebrand Jesus' message.
No, and you asking Jesus to protect you while you gonna make a drug deal?
When you do a song, Jesus, God should be in every song if you doing gospel songs. And them rappers sometimes have God in there.
They have God in there, but it ain't the same thing.
I know.
No, Kiara shared the program director, the music director of my station told me that Kiara Shear was gonna call in for an interview. She said, Reverend Mother, she really loves you, so do an interview. And I said, okay. So she called in and she was telling me about where she was gonna be downtown at this place called the Bria. And she said, I'm gonna be singing my music, Reverend Mother, that where they will hear about Christ. This isn't a place where they generally talk about Christ. So I said, well, here, what is this place? So she says, well, it's a club. I said, it's a nightclub. She said, yeah. I said, well, let me tell you something, baby. I was on there. I said, when I was going to clubs, I wasn't expecting.
Thank you. I didn't know that.
I didn't go there for that.
Hear the word. I went to the park, and it would have frightened me to pieces if anybody would have said anything to me about Jesus. I said, so if you're going there, I said, you were raised there, people. You all are thinking about money. I know people that have made it financially, and they stayed with the Lord. They asked Mahalia Jackson to change over. You know what she told him? She said, I already changed over. Y'all need to change over. And she was a very wealthy woman. Sally Martin was one of the richest women in gospel that you'll ever know. When Sally Martin died, her daughter had to go there. She owned over 4 of them big apartment buildings. She got rich off of selling her music. And Martin and Morris still got that boy. That guy, he is still living in Chicago.
Roberta Martin had
I don't know. They both was rich.
Roberta
They had more
Martin-
than me.
Roberta Martin, what's that there big cosmetic people? White lady, the house.
Mary Kay.
No,
America,
back in the days.
Madam C.J. Walker.
No. It was a big advertising television with
No,
magazines.
I know what it is.
Ebony Fashion Fair.
No.
Cosmetic, I know you're talking about. No.
She bought that lady's house. And I've been to that house.
What was the woman's name in Detroit?
Carmen
Carmen
Murphy.
Murphy.
In the House of Beauty.
Yes.
That's who we talked about. She was in the film this morning about.
She helped the voice of death.
She is the one that found the Voices of Tabernacle in James Cleveland. She had a beauty salon. She had a few beauty salons in Detroit, and she made makeup for black women because there was no makeup for black women. So she made that out and she sold it out of her salons, and it was called a House of Beauty.
Right.
Therefore, the label she came up with, she worked with Berry Gordy as well, but the label she came up with was called House of Beauty. And the love of God is on High record.
This here, Rubicine something.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah, Rubenstein.
great big thing. She was big.
Not Albert Rubenstein.
Something, but she had a mansion in Chicago. Yeah, Roberta Martin.
But you can, but I think it's dangerous sometimes if the Lord didn't lead you into that particular area, then you may need to stay out. They have a video on YouTube about Reverend Brian, Gmwa Brian, and how he was, saying that he's going out into the neighborhood, and they showed one of the gang members
I told him, don't you come
got
down
him
here.
to his face and said, "Don't you come back down here
That's what he told me.
with yourself."
But they
So,
made it up.
right,
They
but I
made it
mean,
up.
the video is still out there, but don't come back down here with yourself.
Yeah, you
Because
come
we
back.
know you, so They did a Peter, I know, Paul, I know, but who are you? You know, so, you know. you
He
have to-
used to be, the other guy used to be a gangbanger. He
Yes,
said, don't come down here with that
come
stuff.
down here with that. So,
And
you know,
and some of those people,
and they
have a
sincere,
respect
and they
for-
have a respect.
they have a respect. Some of those people are not going to. We had a guy just recently joined our church that was a drug dealer, and he had been in jail, and he came and he joined our church, and he said, "I want to be right. I don't want to continue to do."
See, that's
When he said, "I got a lot of money,"
That's
of course I said he should have said he had a lot of money in front of the grill. I said because sometimes people watch this get caught up in who can give $100 when they ask for $100, and they use those people to get through financially what they have to do. But there's somebody sitting there with $3 that's praying for you. You didn't hear me.
And I went to a funeral in Detroit of one of our gospel singers, Chris Jones. Nice guy.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
yeah.
Really, really nice guy. And he did some contemporary stuff, you know, and it was kind of out there. So, you know, anytime you sit in a funeral for 4-5 hours, you get to kind of know the people around you. So we got ready to leave, and they started playing Dance, one of his songs. And they, you know, and the lady that was sitting next to me, she said, "See, this is what I don't like." And I said, "What?" You know, she said, "I got saved recently, you know, in the past couple of years. My husband is not saved. I can't listen to gospel music in my house. He won't allow me to. So when I come in the church, I want to hear gospel music. I don't want to hear what I left.
Okay.
I want to hear gospel music in here. I don't want any of that." And so I said, "Oh my God." And I felt like it was maybe an indictment on us, because these people, when they leave the world, they don't want the world. They turn their back actually on the world.
Yes.
And we keep bringing the world in the church
To them.
to them. And they saying, "I don't want it."
Let me tell you what, this guy come in and watch service night. You know, a couple boys come into the back and just walked up and joined the church. And we took him in the back, and I was happy to be back there. He said, "Listen, my mother died recently. A church wouldn't, you know, he wanted to find a church like that where his mother could be, had the funeralized. He had to go a lot of places before he found it. He said, "I don't want to be like that when I die." And around about 4 or 5 years ago, when he came to church, he died. And then all the people from the bars, but he was in church. Teddy Pendergrass. Now, E9 Tabernacle, meet you in them church?
Yeah.
They don't have funerals there. Am I right, Pop?
But he was an exception.
He was there. Teddy joined the church because my daughter's born there. He joined the church. Joe Frazier's funeral was there. But Alvin had to go through the officials of the church because he's pastor. But the board had to agree. He said Teddy Pendergrass, he's a member. Joe Frazier wasn't a member. But every boxer in the world knew Joe Frazier. So he said, "Well, bring him here."
What about Cookie in New Jersey?
That's what Albert was talking about, Cookie.
When
Remember
they
Albert
have
said
a
Cookie?
respect for the gospel music and for the church, and they come in and they expecting to, you know, take their hat off when they come in and, you know, have, you know, okay, well, I'm good, I respect the church. And we see, I heard an interview the other day with Isaac Caree, who said, "I refuse to take my hat off in the church.
Oh, he won't be in our church long.
refuse. And I don't think it's church. I don't think you should have to take your hat off in the church." And it was a big conversation on Mildred Gaddis' show, because she was saying, "I think you ought to take your hat off." And, you know, but he was saying, "My pastor don't make me take my hat off." I mean, you know, and we keep allowing this
To go on.
stuff and it's not really important. We need to, you know, these people are serious about
Listen, let me
it.
tell you something.
They
One
need
thing.
to be
Let me
taught.
tell you one thing. We went in the early days. We would go to the different cities to see the chapters and see how they were doing, and to go to their anniversaries or their programs. And we went to New Jersey, and so the girl told us, said, well, Cookie's having rehearsal tonight, but she ain't got no program, but she's having rehearsal. So we said, okay, pick us up. So they picked us up, and when they picked us up and brought us, the car stopped in front of the bar. Right in front of a bar. I said, where are we going? She said, we're going in here. I said, well, what are we going in the bar for? She said, that's where we have rehearsal. So we went in. She had taken all the liquor off the bar. She had a Hammond organ sitting up in there. And that chapter rehearsed in that bar. She said, I couldn't. I said, Cookie, why do you go to church? She said, none of the churches wanted us to have our rehearsal. And she had a chapter. And they rehearsed in that bar. She took the liquor off the bar. She bought a Hammond organ and put it up on the stage. And they sat at the tables. And they came to the convention every year.
And guess what? When Lawrence Roberts built his church, they had a cabaret.
Drinking.
Well, Prayer Tabernacle was
It's a cabaret.
a Masonic hall on 114 Erskine before
Right.
they moved around the corner. And Reverend Cleveland and all the rest of them would tell you how they would have to go into that Masonic hall the night before, you know, get up early and go in there and sanctify that place before they came in there for worship. You know, because you had to take a
But
building.
they had cabarets.
Yeah, you had to take a building. They said, and it's on one of my YouTube videos where he got up and said it. You know, we went in and we cleaned up everything and we sanctified that place so that it could be used for the Lord the next day. So you know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, but you don't compromise you to do what you have to do. They still took the gospel of Jesus Christ in that.
Right.
James rented the shrine to have singers to raise money for his church.
Yes.
Mary White and everybody.
Right.
Raise
Yeah, they did have that.
raise money for church.
Come on, boy. We're ready to go. I think we're ready to go.
Okay. I would like to thank everybody that participated in this class. That includes the lecturers, our living sources we have. You know, I was just telling this gentleman here that we talk about having all of the history in here. We thank God for the living history. Let's praise God. There's a living history. These people know. And I'm hoping that we all learned something. We did get a chance to share. And just talking to some of you, I know you learned quite a bit. And there's much, much more out there. There's so much history, you just can't think of it all. But this is rich. We thank the Lord for ordering our steps this week, and just for blessing us and keeping us. There's so many things are happening now, and the Lord has just been with us. We just thank and praise Him for that. And He is ordered out, like I said, ordered our steps, kept our feet from going astray. We didn't wander off where we shouldn't have gone. We probably haven't said a lot of things that we might have said. But anyway, we did anything that was displeasing Him. We asked Him for forgiveness. I'm sure He has. And with that, I'd like you to stand and let's speak this. Thank you for another year.
And
Thank you.
as we close, if you have any questions that you felt weren't answered or any of that, please write them down. If you see any of us in the hallway, especially if you see me, give them to me, and we will include them in videos and other things next year. So when we come back, because we want this class not only for you to enjoy it, but for the other people that will come into the convention. So if there's any questions or any topics that you felt we didn't cover, please jot them down. Let us know, and you can reach us on. You can reach me on the Detroit website, which is gmwadetroit.org. gmwadetroit.org. You can just anytime you send an email, it comes directly to me. Okay. So please, and my number is 313-418-2900. We'll get everything to any question that you have to any of our people.
I was just talking to Eugene. We got, like Mama said, we got even our logo. But it's different. It's in a warehouse somewhere. We know where it's at.
It's in Detroit.
In Detroit, in the warehouse. So like she said, and just like we can't get it because Norma said they ain't got the money to bring the truck. Bo used to bring it all the time.
And
Now, what happened? I told him to write a proposal how we can move our stuff around.
I just did the same thing.
And I said, give it to me before I go to the board meeting, and the board meeting gonna be in Vegas again. I'll give it to him and present it.
Right, and we do have, a lot more videos, and we'll make sure that all of our equipment works next time, so that you can see.
We're just so grateful for Sandy lining this stuff right there. All of this information Dr. Fleetwood brought in, like I said, all of it's not here, but it's
We
coming.
need a
This
building.
man
We need
here,
a building with
this man-
GMWA on it.
He
Yeah.
got
That's what we
me,
need.
he got me coming in this room. Cause, when I walked in there, I seen sheet music, Raymond Rosen, all these people. I said, wait a minute, I know them.
And today,
Alex Bradford, whoa, where did you get that
that's our
from?
last prayer.
We talk about people don't know hymns anymore. You remember the old hymn we used to sing when we would leave home? God be with you out of the hymn book. I'm not talking about the swinging. Just straight out the hymn book. Could we do that one day? God be with you till we meet again. God is not a God uphold you. When the sheep securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again.
We do that at the trustee alliance, citywide trustee alliance from all churches. That's what we do it.
Gracious Father, we come to say thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
We thank you for July, August of 2016.
Yes.
We can't get back home unless you take us back. So we send that out into the universe right now. We thank you for the heart of Sandy Rose. Thank you for her thoughts
Yes, Lord.
and what she does to the glory of God and not to her glory.
Yes, Lord.
I pray that you continue to hold her steadfast, that you walk with her, that you keep her.
Yes.
I pray for every hand that's holding a hand.
Yes.
I lift Professor Morgan up to you for his steadfastness. I thank you because James and I have been here, and it's only by the grace of God. We've walked behind caskets. We've stewarded graveyards. We've read obituaries, but yet you see fit to keep us. We want to thank you for the Gospel Music Workshop. Bless the board and the chapter representatives and all of the officials of this. And then bless every member, every soprano, every alto, every tenor, every bass. Our young people, guide them and direct them. And God, we lift up our chairman to you. You made Albert. You know all about it. So I pray that you continue to give him good health. That you continue to make him strong. Bless his family. We're going out of this room, but we're not going away from all of this that's in this room, because some of this is down in our hearts. Some of this is in our minds, and some of this is on our lips as we move through this organization and go back home to tell them about a great Savior who met us in Birmingham, Alabama, and who is with us all week long. We pray for everything that's going on right now as we move out of this room, that you will keep us. And now to him who is able to keep us from falling and to present us faultless before his throne in glory. Be grace, be peace, be mercy henceforth, now and forevermore. And the people of God said, Amen. Amen. God bless you. Listen, do you ever see Fat Brother?
All the time. Well, she's on the stage, that Gmwa or something. I don't know.
Huh?
Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you next
Yes,
week.
you will. Thank you.
Thank you for stopping in and let us know. God bless you.
Sheridan, and they need a ribbon copy. And they couldn't do it in color, so it will come. But I want to make it right. I want to get it.
You got the email?
I got everything that you wrote down.
Not even across the